What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lando Success, and I have a very amazing interview for you guys today. You know, we're going to talk crypto, we're going to talk stocks, all the fun stuff on my channel, but the real everyday life stuff that matter is your credit, how to basically build things. If you want to buy a home, you want to literally build your credit to get you a car, different type of things. So I have one of the best experts on YouTube. We've been trying to do this collaboration for months, and the stars aligned today. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Rod from Point Blank Travel. What up, dog?
What's going on, my man? How you doing, man? It's good to be here at Lando, man. I woke up this morning and saw your message, and I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's get it. Ain't no time like the present, baby. So
Yeah,
thank you.
cause you know, with me it sucks because my schedule is so sporadic. It's hard for me to plan something a week in advance. It's really today. That's why, like, I came up with the idea last night. Woke up today like, yo, let's do let's do a video right now. But today I was like, look, I'm open all day, so whenever you ready, we can get it going.
Cool. Yeah, man. And I was like, hey, I had some plans. I had some recording to do today. I'll be going live tonight. I'm like, forget that. I'm flexible. I'm fluid. I'm whatever you call it. I'm about to readjust, pivot, repivot, because I'm going on here with Lando, man, and it's an honor to be here, brother.
My brother. So let's first get started. Point Blank Travel. Tell people about your YouTube channel, the name, and what made you start a YouTube channel.
Well, I do have my primary channel, Points Blank Travel. Is we talk about credit, we talk about credit cards, we talk about points, miles, cash back, and how to really maximize these rewards to travel around the world or around the country for little or no money out of your pocket. What originally made me want to get into points and miles, I kind of stumbled across it. For anybody that haven't seen my channel, yeah, I have an 800 credit score now, 790. But I didn't.
Let me drop an exclusive bomb for a player.
I didn't
Come
start
on,
out like
y'all.
this, though, man. I started with a 547. I was your average dude that was being told no over and over and over. I was embarrassed. If I was with a lady and they wanted something and I tried to, apply for credit, I was told no. That was terrible. Um, so I started working on my credit and I finally got it straight. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is going in the right direction. But I didn't watch it every day. I didn't do it like the average person and go to Credit Karma or Experian and look at it every week. I just chilled and it kept going up. But I was in the Navy for 20 years and 26 days. I retired as an E8. You can only go to E9. And I traveled the world extensively. A lot of people say you travel for free. Well, no, I paid the cost for it. I worked every day, long hours, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 84 hours a week. Um, so I was like, man, when I retired, and I retired in 2000, I was like, how am I going to be able to travel? I can't afford the traveling I've done to Australia, Japan, Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong. How am I going to be able to
Everywhere.
do this? So what I did was got into the points and miles game. And now my last 5 trips, I've gone to Miami, San Diego, San Francisco, New York, recently Arkansas, and I haven't paid anything. I think actually I paid $7 in taxes for the trip to New York. And I'm like, yo,
It.
but I came up with the name Points Blank. I wanted to do this. I was nervous, just like a lot of other content creators when I first started. And I'm like, how can what's going to be my name? I don't want it to be Rod. That's okay. That's kind of boring. And I used to go to the gun range quite a bit. I was in the military and I have a few, pieces. And I used to go to the range and I got an email from this gun range and the name of the place triggered the name and it was Point Blank. And I'm like, that's it. I don't BS people. I don't tell them, hey, your credit score is great. When I know it's a 520, I'm going to shoot them straight between the eyes. Either they're going to accept it and respect it or they don't really have to tune in to me. And I was like, but since I'm talking points and miles, let me put an S on the end of point, call it Points Blank. And we're talking about traveling for free. So I just put it all together. And I was, for a minute, Lando, I'm like, I don't even know if this name makes sense.
Mm.
And I said, well, it don't have to make sense. I think it's gonna work. And then people start calling me PBT, which I have so many nicknames. But then not making this long winded, but then I elaborated it and I went on and I created Points Blank Finance, which I'm talking about in stocks, crypto, investing, but more importantly, investing on a budget because there's a lot of people out there that want to invest and um, I mean, I wish I had the knowledge that Lando has when it comes to crypto and investing. Oh my goodness, sorry about
You
that.
good? Come on.
It's people out there that want to invest, but they think they need thousands, 5,000s, 10,000s of dollars when they can easily do it for $10 on Robinhood or $20 on Fidelity or 30 or $50. And I was like, okay, let me create this channel, which that channel, that was my second channel. And then recently I created the Points Blank Experience because I said, okay, I want to talk about crypto. I tried to talk about crypto on Points Blank Travel with credit. People didn't want to see that because they were trying to get their credit straight. They wasn't worried about investing money. They was like, I don't even have money to invest. I'm trying to get my
I,
credit right.
so I was telling somebody that came on my live last night, and he was starting his channel, and I was like, look, I would originate starting it with 3 different ideas on one channel. I'm like, so mine, you can learn about gig jobs, hustling, making money. You can learn about stocks. You can learn about crypto. So you really got a few different things where you can pivot from. Because if you start on one thing, such as how to build your credit score, and once you, after a while, you've been talking about it for 2 years, you're like, yo, I actually want to talk about crypto or something else. When you do it, the analytics in YouTube is like, no, 99% of your subscribers only care about this. So you do a crypto video, it's going to get 10 views versus your other one can get 1,000. So it's like, it's interesting how you started. Like now you're learning, you got 3 different ones for the 3 different audience. Me, I'm like, look, y'all come on my channel, y'all getting it all. If y'all don't like it, don't watch it.
And I liked it and I wanted to do it, but I saw exactly what you just described. I was like, you go look at Orlando's success and he talking about crypto and who knows how many views. Then he may trip, switch over to this and it's not as many views. Now I will tell you the flip side of that. One of the challenges I went through with my live streams, I can have who knows how many people in a Point Blank Travel live, and it's a party. I have people come over, man, it's lit up here, it's a party. But then when I go do it live on Point Blank Finance and I'm talking about crypto, it's 8 people in there. And I'm like, this ain't cool. I'm not having fun, But I understand it's a building process.
Straight a building process, for real, for real. So I want to go back to 2007, 2008ish, right? Because this one we're going to title it something about credit in a recession. And you're old enough to remember, I'm old enough to remember the last real estate crash, the last recession we was in around that time. I want to learn about your memory of it. What do you remember such as happening financially? Because my memory was, I was younger. I was like 18, 19 when everybody was literally getting approved for like loans nonstop. Literally, if you just can breathe, you was getting a home. I ended up getting like 2 homes, and it just was like the wild, wild west. People was making so much money, but nobody couldn't pay the mortgages on these houses that they didn't know anything about, and it defaulted and everything just went to hell. So what was your experience, your thoughts back in 2008 during that recession time?
Man, that's a great question, Lando. I've never discussed this on YouTube, but I actually, in 2005, I purchased a condo in San Diego, California, where I was living at the time, and I paid $400,000 for this.
Whew.
It was a dollhouse, y'all. I don't even know why they called it. It was a town. It wasn't a condo. It was a townhouse, but I called it
What?
a dollhouse. Yes, man, I'm gonna blow your mind. $400,000, 1,100 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and I could have took a ball that you play jacks with and bounced it on the floor real hard and hit every wall in the condo.
Oh my gosh.
It was
What?
ridiculous. Yes, and at the time I wasn't worried because I was in the military and I didn't feel the effects of that recession until I retired. I was in the military, and now keep in mind, y'all. Now I'm roughly a 795 credit score. Now I purchased this townhome. I ended up leaving San Diego and moving to Dallas in 2008. The time frame Lando is talking about right now. I moved in, and the value of this townhouse went from, because it was inflated, 400,000. I think they sold it for 200,000. And notice I just said the key word, I think, because your boy said forget it. I can't. And me, and I say a lot on my channel now. I'm a master of my craft. Now back then I was a master of nothing when it came to credit. I didn't know about no ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages. So first 1 or 2 months, my mortgage was like $1,600. I'm like, I can afford this. By the time, ladies and gentlemen, by the time I moved, my mortgage was up to 2,800. I'm like, I got two choices,
Jeez,
man. And how I
no.
grew up, I couldn't afford it. So I was like, hey, man, I got to move my furniture. I don't care what happened to it. And so I, I lost it. I don't know to this day. I know I waited the time frame. It's not on my credit anymore. And I'm not recommending nobody do this.
Mm-hmm.
But with Lando's question, man, and then I had a career change. And I'm like, I went from getting paid on the 1st and 15th in the military to I got it. They told me, somebody said, hey, man, when you retire, you got to get a job that's equivalent to the military, that's high stress, high pace. If not, you're not going to live for 10 years. And they could have been joking with me. I don't know, but I believe them.
What?
So I said, I'm going to get in the car business, man. I'm going to get into the craziest. I always wanted to sell cars anyway.
I never seen nobody just wanted to be a car salesman. I ain't never seen, let me dive into selling some cars. You had to be good at it if you wanted to do it.
I wasn't good at first. And I'm going to tell you, man, I started off and I was like, either I didn't listen or they didn't say it. They didn't tell me I wasn't going to get a check if I didn't sell a car. My first check, y'all, keep in mind, I retired as an E8. I was making about 70, 80,000 bucks a year, man. I made $75 after a full week of work. And that was before taxes. So I'm like, oh no. But I stuck it out, promoted very quickly. And I went from, now I'm still in the business, but I don't sell. I do business development. But I went all the way up to a new car director making six figures. But with the question Lando asked me in 2010, feeling the effects of 2008, 2009, and this is why I tell people, if you're going through a hard time right now, it's not going to last forever.
Mm.
Keep your head up, keep your nose to the grindstone, persevere, keep going. But I'm gonna tell y'all, you look at a YouTube channel now. I got 31 credit cards. I got platinum cards. I got cards I don't even remember I have. They're all over the house and everywhere. But
31? Oh my gosh.
31, Lando? And do y'all know in 2010, I vividly remember I had 3 days left to payday and I had $4 to my name. $4. I had to park my car at one apartment complex, which was about a half a mile from where I really lived, because the
Repo man
was looking for my car. Imagine this winter out. It's not Michigan now. It's not negative, whatever. But it's cold in Texas. And picture this, man. I just want y'all to visualize this. It's cold. So I'm dressed now. I got a dress shirt, maybe a tie, slacks on, a trench coat, overcoat, whatever you call it. And I'm walking in a predominantly non-African American neighborhood. There is no sidewalk. So I'm walking on the side of this highway to get from one apartment to where I really live, carrying 2 bags from Kroger's. I had red flag written all over me. I don't know how I didn't get picked up and questioned, but I had every red flag in the world. And then when you get home, you're shivering, you're shaking, and you get to your door, you get ready to put the kid in the door, you got this piece of paper on the door. And I'm like, what is this? Eviction notice.
Oh man.
All this stuff really happened to me. And I tell you what, man, it was days I wanted to just break down and cry. But instead, I broke down and I just said, you know what? This won't last forever. I'm going to get where I need to be. And next thing I know, things started happening. I kept believing. I kept the faith. So to answer your question, man, my mindset now, I will tell you what. One of the things that I see a lot of people make a mistake with is when you're rolling, which I was, when you balling, I had a convertible SC430 Lexus hardtop, $70,000 car. And then next thing I know, I'm dead broke. I mean, literally broke. And I walked in my walk-in closet and I had all these clothes.
Mm. You would sell everything. You ain't never been to a pawn shop, you would go to a pawn shop. When you're dead broke.
Lando, I sold all my jewelry, man.
So I already knew it.
I went through that money and I was like, if I ever get in a position, right now, I'm gonna look nice, but I don't care about a bunch of different clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even wear jewelry anymore. I wear a watch. Yeah, I got a couple Rolexes and all that, but I to this day, man, I will never forget. And I tell people I've been on and I've never been physically to these places, and I want y'all to hear what I'm about to say. I've been on Mount Everest and I've been in the Grand Canyon, meaning I've been on the mountain. I'd had all kind of money. I didn't even know what to do with it all. But I've also been in the Grand Canyon where I ain't have nothing. And all I wanted to do once I hit the Grand Canyon was climb my little butt back up to earth.
Mm.
And I'm cool, man. So that's kind of what I went through in the recession. And now everybody's talking about a recession. I personally I don't care because I feel like I'm more prepared than I was for the last one. So
Okay. So what type of things are you noticing right now with inflation getting higher, cost of living, the place average price for a home is going up. Everything is going up, but our paychecks, are you noticing anything different in the financial and credit score realm right now?
yeah, I am. I think a lot of people right now that say they was a certain age during the recession of 2008, 2009, or maybe they didn't even know about the recession. They were here, but they didn't know about it. I think people tend to have short-term memory, meaning if you made it through 2008, 2009, then here comes 2010, and in my case, 2011 to 2022. That's an 11-year span. People are living, and some are living outside the means, some are living like they've been living. But I think it's one word that people forget about, and that's preparation
Mm.
for later on. They don't think about that. And one thing I'm seeing right now is it always happens, but people are being forced to use their credit cards that they maybe normally wouldn't use. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're trying to pay their bills. Like Lando just said, inflation. I went to get a gallon of milk the other day. No, a quart of milk to do a video, a challenge on one of my channels. It was $3.99.
Mm.
I almost didn't do the challenge. I mean, $3.99. I'm like, I'm doing this here just to shoot a video so people can
Yep.
laugh. No, but I think people they're being forced to use their reserve uh, capital, their reserve money when they really didn't put as much up as they should have. And I think people's credit score, and then you had people getting furloughed, people being laid off, people being fired once the situation happened a couple of years ago with the pandemic. But I think a lot of people are in a crunch right now. And the two main factors that make up your credit score is 65% of your credit score is paying your bills on time, which is 35%, and credit utilization, which is 30% of your credit score. So if you don't have any money, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist. You don't have to go to Harvard or Yale or Notre Dame to know this. If you ain't got no money, you can't pay your bill. I mean, you can go to elementary school. You're gonna learn that. So
Yeah, I
I
was
think
looking at an article yesterday. Sorry to cut you off.
no,
Where they was saying the average person, I don't know if it was like the energy bill, they're paying it 2 days later. And the guy that was talking about it saying it don't sound like a lot, but that 2 days equate to like $1.3 billion. Then with car notes, people are paying their car notes a little bit back. So when you start seeing that ripple effect, everybody is literally starting to pay their bills a little delayed. And like you said, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, because if you got a bill that's due tomorrow that's $300, you got this credit card, and you like, yo, let me go ahead and pay this bill with this credit card. And now next month coming, now you have to pay that bill again plus a credit card. And it just literally, now let's see if I can find a whole never long. And it's just a disaster waiting to happen because, everything is going up.
and it's a snowball effect. And then if you like I was in 2010, and like anybody, human nature, you're gonna pay the necessities. You may not pay that credit card, but you're gonna try your best to pay your car note and your rent or your mortgage.
Yep, because your credit is not, it's not tangible. It's like that car is tangible. That phone, whatever it is, it's literally something you can see and the repo man could come take it. Your credit being messed up is something on the computer that you see and you like, well, I'm going to get a letter in the mail saying you better pay this right now. You like, if I don't read it, it don't exist. Unfortunately, but a lot of us think like that, because I thought like that for a while. It's like, well, let's take care of the most important thing first. And I want to transition over. You said you have 31 credit cards. What is the highest limit you have? Because I don't even know the experience to be able to walk in a place knowing in my pocket I got $30,000 dollars if I need it or whatever it is. So I would love to know. My subscribers would probably love to know what's the highest one you got, player.
Well, I have a couple. I have the American Express Platinum, but I got to explain this now. It's a caveat to it. It states it's no pre-spending limit. So in theory, it doesn't have a limit. However, in the world of Rod, yes, it does. Now you can
So
get
hold on, time out. I gotta cut time out, dog. Hold on. Hold on. So you said it technically don't have a limit, so you can go and just swipe something and it's not gonna say decline, technically.
That's what they lead you to believe. However, comma, you really do have a. It said no spending limit, but they look at your spending habits and they may decline it. Uh,
If you
but
acting too wild.
yeah, if you're getting crazy, if you out here just balling out of control, but they really the part is you have to pay it in full the following month. So your credit limit is really what you can afford. Now it has no
Mm.
limit, but if you usher out there talking about no limit, baby, and all this, then, you good. But now, if I use the pay over time feature, that card has a $35,000 limit. I have two of those, and then
So
I
you
have
got two $35,000 credit card limits.
two. I have the American Express Platinum and American Express Charles Schwab Platinum. So that's 70K with those two. Then I have the American Express Gold personal card, and I have the American Express Business Gold that falls under points blank travel. Both of those have $35,000 limits. So those four cards alone is $140,000. And now I don't. It ain't no such thing as declining this. If I go out there and I can get a time, and so
Oh,
35,000 is really the
okay.
real.
So for the people, because I'm from the hood, so the hood mentality do kick in. You know, the low ratchetness it can't slide in. I'm
Right.
just saying it can't slide in. So the hood and ratchetness in me, I wanna you and I know some of my subscribers low hood. So we want to know, how do you get to the point where you have that will and you have that, what's the word, not determination, more of discipline to not go to the top and spend the 35,000, because we know that ripple effect. You can only spend 2,000 here, then you spend 3,000, then you spend 7,000, and it go up. How do you get to that point?
For me, and it may not work for everybody else. First, I was blessed enough to live a life where I accumulated a lot of stuff. So there's not too many things that really excite me, and I got to have this. I have to have that. And I have about 7, 8 pair of Allen Edmonds shoes. If you know anything about Allen Edmonds, they're like $400 a pop. I haven't even worn them. I've never put my feet in them other than trying them on at the store.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on.
I have suits in my closet right now that haven't even been tailored.
Mm.
So I look at a lot. I look at that as wasteful. Now I want y'all to tie in what I was talking about earlier. So I got this stuff that I haven't even worn. You multiply 7 times 400. That's what $2,800 worth of shoes that I haven't even used. Then I revert back to 2010, walking down that half a mile stretch on the side of the highway, carrying 2 grocery bags when it's 20 degrees outside because I'm running from the repo man. I put those two situations together, and it equals discipline because you mentally tell yourself, Rod, remember the day when you had all these clothes in the closet you wasn't really wearing, but you didn't have no money in the bank and not a dollar to your name? Never forget that. Keep that etched, not in the back of your mind. Keep it etched in the front of your mind. I don't care what your salary is. I don't care if you got 39,000 credit cards. I don't care if your credit limit is $2 million. Keep in mind the hard times when you had nothing.
Mm.
That will help you. And I come from the hood too. Let's get it straight.
Come
I didn't
on.
know Beverly Hills nowhere, and I know what it's like living payday to payday. I know what it's like planning what I'm gonna buy when I get paid. And by the time I get paid, you give me my first check when I got in the Navy. I was broke the next day because I had planned out everything I was gonna buy, and I went and bought it, and I had 13 days left till I got paid again. So when you think of that, it doesn't matter what you have in your wallet, you have to pay it back. And then what about that day where you can't pay it back? So I keep that in mind. I mean, it feel good. Now, I went to the store before doing this, and I actually used my American Express Gold card, one of the $35,000
So
cards right here.
you used your cards just about every day. One of them,
I use them all. I use at least three a day. I mean, if I go to three different places, I don't use a debit card
and
because
you
I get
use those points.
I use those points to travel. And this is a true story, y'all. And I put myself in this position. I'm kind of paranoid when it comes to the pandemic. So I had to go to a bereavement flight. My father passed back in March.
My condolence, once again, definitely.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
the average person, and I've been there before. The average person, if you have to make a flight and it's short notice, if it's less than 21 days before the flight, they're gonna rip you off. So I want y'all to imagine this now. I use this today. I went into a sub shop and I went to Kroger grocery store. I had on a burgundy shirt, some blue sweats, some shoes that I usually look like I had been mowing the lawn. I didn't care what I looked like. And they know me, the people there, but everybody else looked at me like, oh my God, this guy looks homeless. And I did. And when I got to the counter and I pulled out this joint right here, the lady beside me had to do a triple take. She was like, did you what? This don't even look right.
Mm.
And I probably could hear what she was saying. It's probably not even his card, but
Yeah.
so father's friend. When I went there, the ticket, y'all, to fly 1.5 hour in first class. Did I have to fly first class? No, I normally wouldn't for no hour and a half. Was $1,900
What?
for an hour and a half flight because it was such a short notice. But
Gee.
I'm gonna say something that you rarely hear a brother that's not rich, and I'm not rich. You will rarely hear a brother that's not rich say these three words. I looked at the flight and it said $1,900, and I said, I don't care. Don't sound right now. I ain't rich by any means. I didn't have to care about how much the price was. Why? Because your boy is using points and miles. I
Mm.
flew in a $1,900 flight, first class. Why did I sit in first class in an hour and a half flight? Because it was a seat by itself. I didn't want nobody coughing on me,
You don't
sneezing
want
on
nobody
me,
talking to
breathing
you.
on me, none of that. By the time I got comfortable and drank a little wine and all that, I was there. I went to the Marriott Little Rock downtown, and my cousin picked me up. We got there. My room was about 350 a night, and I didn't care. I gave him a credit card to put on file, but I used points. Here I am taking an emergency trip. It wasn't a fun trip, but it would have been 19. It was a $3,000 trip that didn't cost me anything. So
That's ooh, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. So now, if you have a person right now that's watching this, I do have a younger subscriber following on some videos. So if you have somebody that's 21, they never tried to build their credits, the parents never gave them game, they probably have a zero credit score. What advice, like what type of credit card would you advise them to start off with to try to build that credit?
man, that's a great question. I get a lot. I'm gonna start by saying what not to do. You're gonna get predators that are gonna know you don't have credit. They're gonna know you're young. They're gonna know you're naive when it comes to credit. And when we're naive about something and we're given an opportunity and we're naive, we get excited. And I always say on my channel, we is me. Don't think I'm saying y'all. We is me. We get excited. So if you get a credit card from Louis Lunch Meat Credit Union, you Louis Lunch Meat Bank, there's no such thing. I'm making this up. And they say you're pre-approved. You jump on it, and the next thing you know, they got a fee for this, a fee for that, a fee for opening the envelope, a fee for calling them, a fee for getting approved. By the time you get the car, you maxed out already. Don't go for that. Think of these companies that you've heard of because they have programs for young, no credit people. They have programs for established people that maybe fell in hard times and reestablishing their credit. I would first look at Discover It, the Discover card, and I would also look at Capital One. The reason I pick these two is they have pre-approval tools that does not affect your credit. You will put in your social, you put in your name, you put in your birthday. They're going to do a soft pull on your credit. It's not going to affect your credit score. They will tell you which one of their cards you're approved for. So you got little Rod, you got 18-year-old Rod that doesn't have any credit. He goes to Discover, and Discover says, sorry, you don't meet any of the criteria. Why? Because you don't have any credit. I'm going to go to Capital One. I'm going to do the same thing. Now, they may say, okay, we're going to give you this card. Oh, hey, sorry, you don't meet the criteria. Now, what you want to do is you want to get a secured credit card.
Mm.
They're not going to turn you down for that because why? You're using your own money, typically $200 minimum. And I'm gonna tell y'all, don't go put $5,000 in this just because you got 5,000. It's a secure card. Be smart about it. Don't put any more than 500 in there. Pay it on time. Don't mess it up. With Capital One, it's about 6 to 9 months. It's going to graduate you to an unsecured card. It's going to give you your security deposit of 200 to 500 back. Discover it. It's about 8 months. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know why people are so afraid of secured credit cards. Number one, it does not say secured on it anywhere.
prepaid credit card.
And it's not going to be no big red light that goes off at the cashier when you go up there and swipe your card. Say, hey, we got a first time secured card holder. None of this is happening. So don't be afraid of it. And then you have that card. And next, so you get you go to Capital One or Discover pre-approval tool. They don't approve you for the regular card. Get a secured card. Treat that card like it's your last 6 to 8 months on the planet Earth. Pay it. Don't pay it on time. Pay it early. Matter of fact, it may be a little tedious. I would personally pay it 3 days after you. If you go and buy, y'all, I'm gonna blow your mind. I'll go into 7-Eleven right now with this $35,000 credit card and give me a bag of M&M peanuts. And I use a credit card. 2 to 3 days after I buy it, it's gonna post, and I'm gonna pay that $3. I know I can afford $3. I might not be able to afford a $300 watch, but I can afford that $3. Do stuff like that. Now, don't go crazy, and you have to keep a note of this. Put it. You see a lot of youngsters run around with one of these, and they over here. I mean, they be walking in the cars, walking in front of traffic because they're so busy texting. But make sure while you walking in front of all these cars about to kill yourself, put in your notes that you spent $3 at 7-Eleven on this date. And I can show you my phone. My phone kind of jacked up. It's had a casualty the other day. I dropped it. Then you get set an alarm or whatever they call a reminder. You have to treat your credit like I like what Lando said because it's not a tangible thing. And sometimes when we mess it up, notice it's me when we mess up. We don't care, but I can guarantee you might not care today like I didn't.
But oh my gosh.
That 5th year, when you growing up and you really want something, you go to get your car and they say, sorry, player.
The thing is, to cut you off in front of for the younger viewers, the deal is you're at 18, 19, 20, 25, whatever it is right now. A lot of people don't expect to be 30, 40, 50, 60. Like my dad used to always tell me, man, son, I talk smack about his age. He said, just keep on living. If you keep on living, which we expect and want to do, you're going to get older and all of these problems that you completely just didn't pay attention to now is going to happen when you want to get that home and you can't get it and you got to get something different. When you want to get that car, or I seen you talking live one day. Oh man, you got to get an example before we leave. I'm sorry to be all over the place, but you did an example when you was saying you wanted to buy, or you said you don't want to be that type of person that want to buy your daughter a graduation gift, a car, and you got to look at her in her face and say, I can't. I said, oh man, you had me about to tear up like. You remember what I'm talking about?
I could tell you, man, I'm just going to be real, man. And obviously I'm African-American, but a lot of times African-Americans, and again, include myself, we live for the moment. We live for the day. We don't think about tomorrow. I used to tell people, man, back the night. Lando did a video. What would the 18-year-old, this year,
yeah.
Lando say to the 18-year-old Lando? And we need to think about that because I used to tell people, man, I'm not worried about 2000. And this was in 1987, 90. I'm not worried about 1995. Hell, I might not even make it to 1995. I'm worried about kicking it today. Wrong mentality because in 1995, my youngest daughter wasn't even born. And my oldest daughter was about 8 years old. Seven or eight. So here it is, young Rod don't care, but then as they continue to get older and they want stuff, and or they more importantly, they need stuff, and they come to their father. If they can't go to their mother and father, who can they go to? They come to their father and daddy, can you help me get a car? Girl, I wish I could, but my credit's jacked up right now.
Mm.
That kid may tell you, yeah, okay, daddy, I understand. But I guarantee you, when they walk away and they turn around, you may not see their face. You're going to see the back of the head. But the discouraged look that's going to be on their face, you can't even describe it. So I never wanted to be that dude. I always wanted to be able to say, hey, I'm not going to put a silver spoon in your mouth. And I want to say something right now. The information that I'm putting out, the information that Lando put out, I don't know about Lando. I'm pretty confident in saying I didn't have nobody telling me this stuff. I
Man.
didn't.
That's why I'm doing my second book, giving the game that literally all the things I wish I known prior to graduating high school. And I'm doing a book basically about that. Just giving a game because we didn't have that game. My older brother was a hustler. He was going out hustling, making money, and we just had to learn from our friends and just experience. So we ain't know nothing.
And that's how you learn, and if you know how to hustle and you couple that with some knowledge, I'm gonna tell you, man, you put H becomes before K in the alphabet. I ain't telling people go out to hustle, but if you know how to hustle and then you at the H, then you get to K and just put some knowledge with it, you're dangerous. You're dangerous. But a lot of people will see Rod on Points Blank Travel, Orlando Success, and he's talking about crypto and investing and interest rates rising. I'm over here talking about how to get your credit straight and how to get crypto, and you bypass us because you want to go over here and see what the celebrities doing on some gossip stuff. Yet when you turn your computer off or you turn your phone off, you be like, man, I want to be a baller. Well, you just skip the two dudes that can tell you how to be a baller and go here and watch the people that's already balling. It makes no
Facts, man, facts. They don't even know you got 200,000 worth of credit cards. They don't know that my house is completely paid off that I'm about to sell. It's like, so it's, hey, you know how it is. We ain't no celebrities, so we just gotta do what we do on a good YouTube. So the last thing I would like to ask you before we get out of here, because in my mind, this could be like a 3-hour interview because our energy is just so good, and with both of us with our knowledge we can just completely go back and forth. So I know the people that's watching this, if you're watching this, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But I want to like to ask, prior to this recession, because we get our GDP data on the 28th, that is when the Fed, the government people basically tell us if we are statistically in a recession. I'm assuming they're going to say we're in a recession. And I would like to ask, how should people prepare themselves financially, such as their credit cards, if it's car payments or student loans? What should they do to prepare themselves in case we have to go through a recession that lasts on average 18 months?
I would say the first advice I would give is scale back. You can't do what you was doing 2 years ago as far as eating out. If you got accustomed to eating out, you may have to start cooking at home. You may be used to eating ribeyes twice a week or shrimp twice a week. You may have to fry some chicken. I'm just being real. Or bake some pork chops or something. I would say scale back. That's number one. Stop buying stuff that you don't need. Now, like Lando said, we don't know how long it's going to last. Let's just say 18 months, but start buying things that you don't need. Forget about buying stuff you want. Buy necessities. Now, when you buy your necessities, if you have a little money left over, I would start putting that somewhere. I don't care if it's under your mattress. I don't care if it's you buy some crypto, but never invest a dollar you can't afford to lose. So I would put some money up. If you find yourself in a financial situation that is not good, not answering your phone when you know it's American Express or Capital One calling you is not going to help the situation. These companies right now would rather have a little bit of something than all of nothing. What I mean by that, they'd rather get a little bit of money from you than they're absolutely not getting nothing. Call them, let them know what's going on. It's not like they are not aware of the recession. Hey, I can't pay the minimum $25 payment. Can I send you $10? And they still may go on your credit, but at least they won't close your credit card down. But so you want to scale back, Forget all these wants. Think about needs. It's not 18 months is not that long of a time. And then protect your credit that you do have. Call the credit. Don't call them beforehand and say, "Hey, y'all, I think I'm gonna be broke by December, so I'm just letting y'all know now." Don't do that because you might not be broke. But if you see yourself, oh man, I used to pay 50 and it was only 25 minimum due. Then you see you can only pay 30. Next thing you know, you can only pay 15. Then you can't pay nothing. Once you get to that minimum due and you see yourself in a situation, just say, "Hey, yo, Americans don't." Well, I will, but just, yo, American Express, look, Barbara, Susan, whoever I got on the phone, I can't. I foresee I'm not going to be able to pay this. Is it anything we can work out? Even if you go to websites right now saying, "Hey, are you having problems?" We are willing to work with you.
Mm.
They're saying that on their website. I have a jewelry card with Hillsburg and Zales. This was on their website, and this was before the recession. So man, just be true to yourself. And I'm a firm believer, whether you're married or you're single or you're in a domestic relationship, nobody really cares more about you and your spouse or you and your partner or you by yourself than you. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't expect nobody else to look out for you. That's
My brother, I appreciate you so much because I know you are a busy man. You have a lot going on. Tell people all of your channels. Where can they find you? Because I know people gonna be in the comments like, bring that brother back because I got 20 more questions.
and I'd love to come back, man. I'm telling y'all, when Lando, and I'm gonna get into the time. When I saw that message this morning, I was so excited. I'm like, man, I always get the messages I don't care about, but the notification for the ones that I didn't see it hit, and he hit me up last night, and I know I was up. So to be here, man, with someone that I admire, somebody that I enjoy watching, somebody that I look up to in these YouTube streets, and he's younger than I am. That's another thing, man. Just because you older, don't think you know it all,
That
man.
you can learn from anybody.
You can learn from the younger cats, man. I mean, I look for. I'll be at work, man, and I'll have one headphone on and one off. And they'll be, "Rod, what are you doing?" "Oh man, don't worry about what I'm doing.
Listening to you.
I'm watching Lando, man." But I do have 4 channels. My primary channel is Points Blank Travel, where I'm talking about credit cards, points, and miles. We've already talked about that. Then I have Points Blank Finance. Make sure you put an S. If you go point blank, it's an S because I'm talking about points and miles. Where I talk about crypto and investing on a budget, stocks. I also have the Points Blank Experience because I wanted a channel where I can talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. I said, okay, I want a channel where I primarily do interviews. I've been interviewing a lot of content creators, but I'm open to interviewing non-content creators, more smaller people with lower numbers. I'll interview anybody. My daughter and I just started a show on that channel called The Rod and Drika Show. We've done 1 episode and we've been bonding. She's in a
That's
different part of the
amazing.
country than me, and we've been bonding. The 4th channel, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the Points Blank Experience is, I foresee it overtaking Points Blank Travel, which this channel has the most subscribers. And Points Blank Clips is my 4th channel where I'm taking clips of longer live streams that people may have went to bed and never went back and watched. Important, valuable clips, and I'm putting them on Points Blank Clips so they can just see a 2 to 5, 2 to 6 minute video, get some motivation, some inspiration going about the day. And all together, I call it the Points Blank Network. So,
Well, text me every single one of them because every single one of his channels is going to be pinged at the top comment. All you got to do is look at the top comments. Make sure you subscribe to this brother. Let's show him some love. Tell him you came over here from the success team.
peace, man. And thank you again for having me, brother. Keep doing what you're doing because you motivate many. You know, people tell me I'm the hardest working man on YouTube. I beg to differ. This is the hardest working man on YouTube. So salute, my brother. Salute.